Okay, so I'm going to work on my Blazer again, but gotta wash it first. Okay, so as you guys saw in the last video, we took this thing out and pushed it pretty hard, trying to find all the things. Before I finish it up, obviously there's still a lot of work that needs to be done for it to be done. But the first things that I noticed is, since the back is somewhat shorter, and yeah, it used to hang out to here, all the weight was all the way out here. Now everything's moved forward, so these springs are too stiff. And also, I lowered it an inch in the front, so now the back sits probably 1.5 to 2 inches higher because there's less weight, so it's lifting up more. And another thing is, this shock hits this spring right here, because it moves around a little bit. The coil has some room to move around, so as it cycles, it moves back and it hits this on both sides. So I wanted to remake these bottom coil mounts anyway, but I left them just to see how everything worked first. So I do have these coils, which should be lighter, I think. I don't know if they're longer or not, so I'm gonna pull these springs out. Look at that. Here's a praying mantis on my...
Oh. He's trying to grab. You can sort of see.
You can't really see it, huh?
No, you can. I know.
So I'm going to pull these springs out and throw these in, but it uses a different mounting than the other ones do. So I have perches that will work with these springs, but I'm just going to pull those springs out and sit these in there and set it down, just so I can see, are these softer, and is it going to be close to the ride height I need, and what else I need to do to make it the right ride height. Alright, so I got those, my other springs put into there, and it actually is really close to the right height. I think it needs to be a little bit taller, but that's okay, because once we put those on, it will be a little bit taller. So it is pretty low. You know, bottom of the slider there. So not ideal, but I do plan on boat siding it. And I think that's gonna help out a lot. I really like it being low. I like the feel of it being low, the look of it being low, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like it does a lot better low for the kind of stuff I do, like Moab, Sand Hollow. You want to be low for that kind of stuff. But I am gonna boat side it, and I'll probably cut these into half doors and stuff like that. But for right now, I think it's gonna work how it is. So I'm gonna get these, so this bottom piece right here, this will just move around and it'll just pop out because there's nothing holding it in. So that's why I need to put those on. But I think if I just put those on top of this, I think that's gonna work perfect. And it is a lot softer as well, which is great because it was way too stiff before. So don't like actually.
Babe!
These are my bump stop pads that go on top of where the coil mounts for the bump stop to run into. And these, they already had a hole in them, so I just drilled that hole out bigger so that I can put a bolt through this into that.
Oh.
And it'll bolt right to the perch that's already there, and it'll all work dandy, hopefully. And then I also got, oh yeah, these are for the top. So these go on the inside of here, which retains the spring in the top, and this little clip here retains the spring into the bottom, so the spring doesn't come out or anything. It's retained on both ends. So yeah, I think that's gonna work. That's gonna be the simplest way to do it. I'll probably do something else later. I'll probably order some spring perches from Barnes and redo it all, because that's just how I am. But so instead of taking a bunch of time doing this, I'm gonna make these work, and it's gonna work great. It's gonna let me know that if these are the right spring rates or if I have to go with something else, because I'm just guessing. I just have a bunch of springs laying around. These ones are out of a Cherokee. I have a couple that are like a 2-inch lift for a Cherokee, and then I think I have a 6-inch lift spring for a Cherokee as well. So with this same setup, I have a lot of room to play with stiffness and length, and I'm just going with the lightest one I have for now because these ones are too stiff. These are actually out of the back of a JK. So yeah, none of these parts are made to fit into this, but we're gonna make them work. So. And then I got this as well. So this, it came out of my Cherokee over there. Since the back set just a little bit lower than the front, this is just a 1/2-inch spacer, or well, it's not a spacer, it's the factory bushing that the coil sits on. And since this is Cherokee parts under here, this fits right onto there, just like so. And then it'll have a bushing there, which will be better. It won't move around like it did before, and it's just a all-around better setup. And it gives me that little 1/2-inch raise. So I think it's gonna be perfect. Okay, so I just got those bolted on just like that. It worked out perfectly. It just holds it all together, and the bump stop pad's still right there. So I'm gonna lift it back up and get these springs installed. and see if I got the ride height correct. I could always take that spacer out if I need to. And this is not very safe. Don't do this at home.
A lot of the things you do, you shouldn't do at home. 1, 2, 3.
Then this side's higher than that side. Because I didn't jump it up in the middle. Okay. As it curiously sits there, I gotta get these in.
As if it's curious.
Nice.
Doing so good.
Look at that. That actually worked out really well. Tighten this down. And then,
Other side.
whoa, go to the bottom. Got this.
Looks good. I think. Huh?
Let it settle.
Now the back looks lower than the front.
I think it looks higher than the front. Which means it's perfect, right?
I don't know. The back is higher than the front still.
Cool. I could raise the front if I need to, but I
Should we go test drive it?
think so. See if these springs help.
Or smoother?
It looks kind of goofy because they're so small, but there's just no weight back here.
Yeah, they do look goofy.
It's because this is so big and everything. And they
Yeah. It's unproportionate.
just...
You go faster.
So Owen had a brake line leak down here. I just pulled off this flare nut, and take a look at that. That's barely even flared. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-flare that and tighten it back up. Should fix that brake line leak.
Now Owen's turn. What are you doing?
I am setting my secondary coil spring engagement things. So I kind of bottomed these out a couple times when I hit hard bumps, so I want the secondary spring to engage sooner. So right now it's got 2 inches. I'm gonna move it down to where it's just an inch above it, and that should make it engage sooner and hopefully make the ride a little bit better. Okay, so that one is where it was. This is the new one, and that I marked it right there. That's where this is at ride height. So I'm just guessing somewhere around there, an inch above, so it engages sooner. So hopefully I can hit bumps without it bottoming out. So, because it only has like 4 inches of up travel, because down travel is more important than up travel in a rock crawler. So I have it set up to where 4 inches of up travel and 10 inches of down travel. So I just got to tighten those together and should be better.
How's it going back here?
It's going good. As you can see right there, it's got a nice flare on it now. So that should work a lot better than what we had on there. Now it's got to tighten it up. Should be fixed.
Sweet.
So now, see, now it's just got like about an inch before the secondary coil engages. So should be a little bit better. I'm hoping it won't limit the flex. What?
Braylee, what are you doing to the cat? What are you doing?
You got the cat?
To the poor kitty. Huh?
She's just walking around with the cat like this. She's like,
Oh. We are not being cruel to the cats. They are fine with it.
they are like,
They're really nice, so we're not hurting them. So if anybody gives us comments about it, they're fine.
actually this is probably the calmest cat in the world. Oh, you can't even pick it up because it just doesn't,
It limps.
it just doesn't do anything.
Oh, there's. Oh, you gonna try again?
Braylee, I got a cat. Okay, don't chuck him. Body slam, jeez. It's too heavy. Can't KO the cat.
That's how she doesn't get to hold the baby.
It just puts on her shoulder. Just, boom.
Oh, silly.
And she's coming back.
She's going back for more. Oh, she's being nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull it out here, and should I paint it or test drive it first? Because if I test drive it first, it's probably gonna have mud. But if I paint it first, it's probably gonna have mud infused into the paint. Paint it first?
Probably. Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it outside and see if it's level. And I'm also gonna put a coat of paint on everything just so it doesn't rust. And
Too bad we can't leave it like this.
I know, I like it. It looks cool, but it's already starting to rust a little bit, and I just don't want it to. So just gonna put some rust protect paint on it, and it should be good enough.
Yeah, it does look way better. It looks better now.
It's level.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
It looks, and it's lower, which professional paint job here. Got everything all masked up, so now I'm gonna paint it. same paint I used for this because it was pretty close matched. I just come in here. Oh, didn't shake it enough. That's my bad. It doesn't match very great, but
it's okay. Aren't we gonna raptor line it eventually anyway?
yeah, I think I'm gonna run or raptor line the whole thing. Yeah.
So right now it's just temporary. See, you didn't even roll it in the first place.
Yeah, it's mint. Actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All things considered. So. So one more issue I had is, as you can see, tire hits this. So I'm just gonna cut it a little bit more. And also something that always kind of bothered me is the angles are different. So I'm also fixing that. So I measured the front and there. Maybe. I think we should probably do like a something like that. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. That one's rounded.
A little bit, yeah. I think I should round these more like that.
Okay.
See how she looks.
This got unplugged. Oh yeah, that does look really good.
It does, yeah.
It fits it better now.
Cool. Okay, so it's just starting to get dark, but I wanted to go test out the springs, see if it's smoother, and it is a lot better, I think, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's smoother.
So it is definitely a lot softer, and the front is definitely a little bit stiffer. You can feel that it engages sooner. So we're just gonna go over here and drive around on some dirt roads and see how it feels. So